Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Nier Replicant on PlayFrame and what is most likely the end. Or at least an end. It'll make sense later. Anyway, so before we move on through that door toward probably the end of this whole thing, I just remembered that in last episode when we encountered Devila and Popola, they gave Grimoire Weiss back some memories, and I think that means that we have access to some documents in here that we can read that may, hopefully, help to provide a little bit more explanation about some things anyway. Now we got a lot of stuff in here, actually. Including a lot of these. I don't remember getting these before. Maybe we read them already. Yeah, no, I think this was all the stuff. Yeah, this is the stuff we found for Emil's sort of story. And I think we read them all as we encountered them. Yes, we did. We got a letter from Emil at one point, which we also read that one. Yep. Weapon upgrade notice. Right, yes. Letter from Chief of Area, we saw all that. So, okay. We do have, though, 4 Project Gestalt reports that will hopefully make some things a little more clear. So let's get reading. Project Gestalt Report 0923. As noted in the previous report, implementation of Gestalt mode can prevent the white chlorination syndrome we recently experienced. Transfer of bodily information to civilization-repressed replicants is proceeding as planned, with the genes of the originals safely stored inside. Our role as surveillance androids to prepare for when the incurable bacterial disease eventually dies out is also underway. So far, this is proceeding without issue. Observer 21, codename Popola. Let's see. Project Gestalt Report 9182. This document discusses potential strategies for the relapse cases we've observed in recent years. The term relapse, of course, refers to the catastrophic loss of sentience seen in certain gestalts. This syndrome has defied even our most pessimistic initial estimates, and continues to trend upward with disturbing speed. With some relapsed gestalts beginning to attack replicants, there is an urgent need to take comprehensive action. We remain convinced that an unknown technological defect in the gestalt transformation process is responsible for the condition, but so far have been unable to confirm this theory. Research of this condition is now our top priority and looks likely to continue for some time. Observer 22, codename Devila. Project Gestalt Report 10432. Shorthand minutes of Case 23, Emergency Response Conference, Committee Special Meeting. Issue, observed upward trend in relapses, noted and discussed. Issue, acceleration of restoration schedule, approved. Report, debate over using codename Noir for human restoration schedule. Report, preparations to launch Weiss decoding system for above. Report, order collection of guidance and released code for Nier alongside Weiss launch. Observer 21, codename Popola. And Project Gestalt Report 11242. We have determined that the rise of relapses was due to an unexpected spike in the sentience of replicants, as well as a genetic instability within the original Gestalt. It seems the original's effect on bodies that have undergone the Gestalt process was not anticipated in advance. Immediate action must be undertaken to identify the links between this trend and the original Gestalt, along with its sister, the relapsed case known as Yona. The Observer Contact Group is growing uneasy, so finding a solution to the relapse issue should be considered a top priority. See other reports for more details. Observer 21, codename Popola. So, best as we can sort of piece together with the information we have here, it seems that there was a thing called white chlorination syndrome, which was a bacterial disease that people were experiencing, and that a plan was implemented to try to save people, or try to outlive this bacterial disease, called Project Gestalt, separating souls from bodies and creating transfer bodily information to civilization repressed replicants is proceeding as planned. So replicants were created to I suppose, put these Gestalt souls back into later, and the civilization was repressed somewhat, probably due to oversight from the observers, like Popola and Devila and lots of others, presumably, since they're observers 21 and 22. But it seems there was some sort of relapse with a catastrophic loss of sentience in certain Gestalts, which caused them to start attacking replicants, and basically that is what these violent shades we've been encountering are, it seems. Just the human souls that have started kind of going bonkers and attacking replicants, and one of these other ones seemed to suggest that the cause of this relapse and violence has something to do with the spike in sentience of replicants. So, I don't know if we have the complete picture here, but that's definitely a lot of information to work with and start connecting some dots. Anyway, let's go through the door. And then also another door, lot of hallways in this place. Shades also. This does provide some confirmation and clarity as to why a lot of shades start dropping random things like used coloring books, torn notebooks, stuff like that. Although, I'm not sure why souls have those. But whatever. I'll grant that there's a lot about this whole situation that I don't 100% grasp. Even as one who's played through this before. But we may get some more information and nuance as we go here. And I will warn you that some of this, some of the plot to all of this can really only be fully pieced together outside of the game. There's a lot of additional Nier material out there from, I'm not even sure what all they are. Like, there's, I think, light novels, there's mangas, I believe, stage plays, there's a lot out there that sort of completes the full Nier story picture to a certain degree. I obviously can't bring you the stage plays or whatever here on this channel, so if you're wanting to really dig in once this and Nier Automata are done, you may have to go on that research journey yourself. But I can, at the very least, give you everything that has been in a Nier game. And we've still got a lot left to see. Shades, please.
Yona!
Oh, it's a fight.
Strike hard. Hold nothing back.
Okay. Attack. Ghost book. Alright.
How can a mere tool hope to stand against the Shadow Lord?
Don't speak in such a manner, fool. I am nothing like you.
Boy, thank goodness for this magic, huh? It's very good. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. My fault for not listening. What am I meant to attack here?
No! Impossible!
Breakthrough! There we go. Beat it up. There we go. We are very strong.
Be careful!
I know!
Yee. I should probably use a little bit less of a chip damage spell right now. You know, why not? I've been using these two spells non-stop for, like, weeks. Man, why can I do that? You're using way better spells than me. Or at least way fancier versions of them. They're very cool. Alright, let me get out another spell here. How about... Haven't used the lance in a while. Sure. Let me charge up a few here, and then fire! It's not actually that much damage compared to just hitting him.
Vice, you alright?
Naturally, it's as fit as a bit.
Get hit. Ow. Come here. Beat him up. Thanks, Kainé. You're doing great. Get him. There we go.
Wait! Brother?
Yoda. Huh?
Please, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it. There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her. She won't stop crying. She says she wants to see her brother.
Yoda's been possessed?
This girl loves her brother too, just as much as I do. It's not right, you know? It's not right that she can't see him. It's you, isn't it?
Yes, it's me. Let's go home.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what to... I'm so very sorry.
shade that possessed her is gone.
Oh boy.
Watch over Yoda for me. You want me to understand your sadness? You think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore to protect my sister and my friends. If someone puts them in danger, they will stand aside or be cut down. Now come on! Let's finish this!
Yeah. Goodness, you're strong.
Weiss, what's wrong?
You're freaking me out here, Weiss.
What are you doing? Come, son. Just do it. Strike the killing blow.
Trying to. I should probably top off.
One moment, please.
You okay?
Fine, just fine. All right, no, I'm not.
Weiss.
It seems some headstrong idiot has decided to push me beyond my limits. I should have taken that job as a cookbook when I had the chance.
Weiss. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Only joking. I hate cookbooks.
But...
Let's go. Out of the way. I have one final task to fulfill.
where are you going?
Why, to stop him, of course. But after that, it's up to you. Only you can see this battle to its conclusion. I wish you luck, my friend.
You can't. I swore I'd always fight by your side.
You are an exceedingly stubborn lad. You know that, yes?
Guilty.
Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Weiss!
Oh, and remember what I told you about using my full name? Well, forget it. I've grown rather fond of Weiss.
Weiss. I knew you'd come around.
Don't let it go to your head now.
Grimoire Weiss has lost all of his powers. I have no magic anymore.
I have something to defend. I have a reason to live.
Yeah. And an awful lot of bullet hell coming for you, so... Ah! There we go. Almost. Just gotta get through. Hup. There we are. Eeh. Yeah. Yep, get through. There we go. Gonna top off again. Yeah. Eeh. Yep. Gonna look at this real quick. Nice little space the Shadow Lord set up, kind of in the corner. It's quite lovely.
Is Yona all right? Oh God, no.
Oh, please, the girl is fine.
Weiss? Where are you? Are you okay?
I am as well as can be, considering I have lost my physical form. Doubtless my voice will be the next to go, so listen closely. Your sister is safe. Do not mourn her, and do not give up hope. Instead, you must call her back to you.
How?
Use your memories. Recall the times you spent with her. Present her with proof that the two of you live still, and that your lives have meaning.
I don't know.
Typical. But take heart. I know you can do it.
What's my favorite food? Cookies. What's my favorite book? That's my magic storybook. What's my favorite place? Home with you. What's my favorite flower? The lunar tear, of course. Okay, one more question. Who do I love more than anyone?
Oh, this is fun. But I suspect I know the answer. At least I really hope so. And confirm.
Is that you?
Yona.
Is this my body?
Yes, Yona. It's yours and yours alone.
You look bigger than before. Like you've grown up.
Oh, yeah. I guess you haven't seen me for a while.
Have I been asleep this whole time?
Something like that.
It's almost like I'm a princess from some fairy tale.
Oh, Yona. I'm so happy to have you back.
Me too.
Kainé.
You and your sister, you have a good life, Kay?
Where are you gonna go?
Guess I'll...
You could stay with us, you know.
Thanks, but I'll pass. You know how it is. I got my own shit to take care of.
What do you mean?
Personal shit, alright? Anyway, take it easy, yeah?
Kainé.
Hey, look. It's beautiful. For the longest time, I heard someone telling me how they wanted to see the light. And now, they can finally see it. so sunny today.
Yeah, it sure is.
And there's credits. Oh, they're doing that cool thing that some studios do where they just kind of put everyone's names in alphabetically, just regardless of department or seniority in the company or anything. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that approach. Anyway, that is Nier Replicant. Kind of. A game that I still like a great deal. Revisiting this has been really interesting because there is so much about it that still, even at the time when I first played it, felt a little bit messy and sloppy. Honestly, way more when I first played it because combat back then was also real bad. And it feels way more good to play moment to moment now. But even so, there's a lot to the design of this that it still feels sloppy on a pacing level, dungeon design, side quest design, definitely. Just a whole lot of tedium built in there. But the things that are good and cool about Nier are still 100% here in this. And especially, we're used now to more games really, messing with expectations in interesting ways now. Back in 2010, when the original came out, this was a real curveball of a game. And if it doesn't seem like that to you, if this is your first experience with Nier, then I should mention, we're not even close to done. We are at credits. This game is far from over. Because there's New Game Plus in this, and New Game Plus in this is not... It's not new like New Game Plus in other games. The story's not over. So, should I, hit skip? Can I hit skip? I don't know if I can. That's fine. We'll just let the credits go. But anyway, yeah, I guess it is a little early for closing thoughts, given the fact that we're not done with the game, but coming back to it, I still love everything that is cool about this experience. I love that it does have more of a kind of sad, melancholy tone to it overall, more than I'm used to experiencing, even in JRPGs and a lot of other AAA games now. It was especially uncommon back in the day, though. And I really love a lot of the stuff that we're going to start seeing the further we get into this, because we've not seen all the game has to offer, and we definitely haven't seen all of the interesting ideas the game has to offer still. So there's still lots to look forward to here. And the nice thing is, even though we are going to be playing New Game Plus after a fashion, we don't have to do a lot of the really tedious side quest stuff again. That stuff will be remembered, so we can just kind of keep moving forward with story things now. And that's going to be nice. Boy, really large team still. This is far from the scale or complexity or fidelity of a kind of a top-tier AAA game these days, but even so, massive team. Lovely music, too. I love that there are some of these credits that are question marks, I'm guessing because they're not wanting to spoil things. I'm assuming that's the reason, and not that they can't remember what this person did on the video game. But yeah, even though I do love a lot of what this game has and a lot of what is unique and special about it, it does feel like a pretty unique, special experience even now. But there's a lot about it that does still feel sloppy, even in the ways this game is trying to achieve its own like goals and aims. I think there's lots of aspects that could be a lot stronger. There are ways that they could get at the story and there's ways that they could achieve the storytelling and mood objectives more effectively. And again, it makes me excited for Nier Automata, because I'm sure it'll have its share of problems too, but everything I've heard makes it sound like Nier Automata takes what Nier did well and just improves upon it kind of across the board. And that's very exciting. Anyway, we need to make a save here. So I will go ahead and just... Yeah, sure. Yes. We'll override the save. Cool. All right, look at that. We got a little A over there. Nice. Now then, exit to the clear data save screen. Sure. Ending B. Load your clear data after completing the game to experience Kainé's story. You can now read A Departed Mother's Diary in your house. Wardrobe has been added to the options menu. New outfits can be obtained by progressing through A Departed Mother's Diary. Change music has been added to the game settings section of the options menu. I appreciate that they do outright tell you the game's not done. Load your save back up, please. Otherwise, I feel like a lot of people might not know. So, okay. Continue. And let's load that save there we just made. Oh, hey, level 30 isn't the cap. Fun. Strap in, everyone. The ride continues.
Whenever I interacted with Kainé, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway...
Kainé's dreams, discrimination. So, as you can see already, we've loaded into our save, and we're doing kind of a new Game Plus thing, kind of, but we're not starting at the beginning. We're starting from this point in the story, and some things are different. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vane slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vane could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kainé! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kainé struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kainé's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kainé turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kainé knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to the sensation. It was one she'd experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kainé was something to be hated and, if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt... Oh, look, the little freak's gonna cry. What's wrong? You sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kainé prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin, and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rocket had taken my head off. Kainé couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kainé's face with his thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You can't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kainé, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kainé. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kainé curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kainé ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak, chanted the children. Freak! 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 Kainé closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare to open a single blood-caked eye. Kainé was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kainé. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kainé again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. "Ow!" he screamed, leaping to his feet. "Stop it! What are you doing?"
Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch.
"You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch! A big one! That thing could have killed me!" The old woman shrugged.
Death is the best cure for stupid.
Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kainé, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. "Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here! Either of you!" Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. "Look at the fat boy go. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight." The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kainé. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. "Oh, Kainé," she said. "Why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot." The words of her grandmother stung Kainé, and she turned away. "Don't be nice to me," she said. "I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore." Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. "Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead." As Kainé's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kainé found herself unable to turn away. "Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand?" The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. "You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kainé. You know because you survived it." As the words hit home, Kainé was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kainé called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kainé and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kainé truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kainé's pain and loneliness, it was her. "Do I make you sick, Grandma?" "Of course not. Don't be an ass." Kainé drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. "But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't." "Hush," interrupted Grandma. "I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell." With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kainé's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kainé want to cry all over again. "Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me?" Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kainé reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. "Where did you find these?" "Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping." The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kainé to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kainé's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. "Didn't quite turn out right," said her grandmother as she squinted at it. "These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but sure looks good on a pretty little girl like you." Kainé blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty?" "Course you are. What a fool thing to say." "Thank you, Grandma." Her grandmother smiled.
We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine.
Kainé took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kainé gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kainé stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kainé let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kainé's dreams, daily life. Okay, this might go for a while. I'd forgotten how long it might go. Tell you what, everybody, we're going to go ahead and call it for now because a lot has happened. I'm going to let y'all digest, and we'll come back tomorrow and continue reading, I guess, for a while, maybe a long time, or maybe not. I don't remember. We'll find out together, huh? Take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Goodbye.